Rich Realty. I'm Brian Sexton, and we're talking about excellence in real estate here in Northeast Florida with one of the very best commercial realtors, Tiffany Ashurian from Ashco Centers. Hey, Tiffany, how are you?
Hey, Brian, I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. Listen, real estate in North Florida is explosive. There's opportunity from one corner of Duval County to the other, and that's not even to include Nassau and St. John's and Clay and all the other places that we call home. Tell me what excites you the most about real estate and commercial in particular here in Jacksonville.
I love creating a community and seeing the brands that we bring together be successful over the years and open 3, 4, 5 locations with us. That's really something that gets me going. And then seeing the attention of national companies that used to look at Jacksonville as like a second-tier city and being on the top of their list. You know, Jacksonville is the most populous city in the state of Florida, and we've got a lot of national brands eyeing us. The St. John's Town Center and River City Marketplace have really brought us to the next level.
Tell me about those national brands, because it's exciting to see so many different ones open. I mean, it seems like right now, everywhere you turn, somebody is saying, well, North Florida is a perfect place for us to expand.
Absolutely. So we actually won the greatest new development for Florida this year from CoStar for the lease that we did with Visual Comfort. Visual Comfort is a $1 billion company, and they're a national company. They came in from Europe to tour our site along with Balamo. They came in from Dutchland. So exciting. Picked them up from the airport, showed them our city, showed how quickly we're growing. And I really feel like, you know, as negative as the impact of COVID was, it did something incredible for our city. People want to have the land and space and water views that we have. So we are having a lot of big relocations from California and New York, and that's got international eyes on us.
So when you talk about the big cities and the big dollars that it costs to be in business there, how attractive is Jacksonville from that perspective? To be able to break into a market with people, the most populous city in Florida, as you mentioned, and then to have all the amenities that you just brought up, the weather and the water and the environment.
Absolutely. Well, I think there's great tax incentives for businesses, but more so it's the number of people and the demographics here, the income levels that we have, and then the stores are just booming. So if you take a look at St. John's Town Center, the average business at Town Center does $1,750 per square foot in revenue.
Wow.
So that kind of just speaks for itself.
Do you see this boom? I mean, if you go to South Florida, it sure seems like they couldn't fit another store in anywhere. They find ways to do it, obviously. Do you see this continuing? I mean, you understand the marketplace. You grew up here.
Right, absolutely. And a big part of my journey was after Harvard Business School, I was recruited to McKinsey consulting firm. And I lived in Miami, and I got to see how the international climate was there, working with large retailers. And I see that Jacksonville, you know, being here as a Jacksonville native, this is the big boom that we've been waiting for. We saw this happen with Tampa. If you look at the trajectory of Tampa over the last 7 years, it's very similar to what's happening here in Jacksonville. We basically have the same landscape, the same waterways, and it's now time for us to shine.
How does what's going on downtown, right, with the development downtown, how does that factor into it? I know you do most of your work around the St. John's Town Center area, but do you see downtown as a net plus for what your efforts are doing?
Absolutely. I do see the growth in downtown, but one thing that I think is a big point of difference for Jacksonville is that we've grown horizontally rather than growing vertically. You see a lot of non-traditional office spaces because they want to have like a retail storefront. In a way, because of the land that we have, that serves as like a billboard for the business. So people get to drive by corridors like Beach Boulevard and Hodges, and you've got a traffic count of 50,000 there. So you see a lot of people that are business owners that would rather be there and maybe pay a little bit of a premium for being in a retail site versus those, you know, downtown office spaces.
Sure. So let's finish with this idea. I mean, listen, Harvard MBA, you can talk the numbers all day long, and obviously you're very successful at what you're doing at Ashco Centers. What about the heart side of it, the passionate side of it, that comes from being a Jacksonville native, that's always seen the good in this city, even when some outside sources say, Jacksonville, too small, not enough growth. How does your passion for the city marry with your passion for what you're doing with Ashco Centers, and how does that play forward?
Jacksonville is family. I think that getting to go to some of the national conventions, like we're getting to ready to go to in Las Vegas, the ICSC, International Council of Shopping Centers, you go there and you say Jacksonville, and everyone is so excited to hear about the growth. They know about it, and I will say the Jaguars did a lot for us.
Sure.
Everyone knows the Jaguars, and that helped build our brand here in Jacksonville. But it's definitely a passion project to see our tenants here locally succeed, not just, the national businesses. I love to do community events. So our corporate headquarters is actually just down the street in San Marco. We have the city block where there is Panera Bread, Mayday Ice Cream, and La Nafalera. Thank you. And we like to do a lot of community events there. So just last month we did an event with Vive Yoga, Golden Sita, and our new tea shop pop-up. It was really fun to see the collaboration of yoga and facials and tea and how the community came together. You get to see familiar faces and your Jacksonville family.
So you're building your business at the same time that you're building your community. I don't think there's probably anything that you could do that would be more satisfying than that.
It's so much fun. I absolutely take so much passion and so much pride in that. I don't feel like I work. I literally can't wait to be at work every day.
Good
and
for you.
I think that's something that really, helps with the hours that we put in.
Oh, listen, it never stops, does it? You've got to do everything.
It's
When was the last time you put a sign in front of a business? I'm sure you've done
Just
that plenty.
this morning, yes.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like you do, as a business owner, you do A to Z in your business, and a lot of people see the end result, but they don't see the hours and the time that you have to put forth. It's funny because one of my favorite stories is the story of Pablo Picasso. So Pablo Picasso was having dinner with a friend at a restaurant, and one of the people that admired his work asked him to do a little sketch on a napkin. And he said, yeah, sure, he did a sketch. It took 5 seconds for him to do that sketch. And then the person asked for a copy of that, and he said, well, that's $100,000. And they asked why. But the thing is, it's not about that 5 or 10 seconds of time right there. It's about the amount of time that you invested to be great at what you do to get to that point.
Yeah.
So a lot of people see the success, but they don't realize the time that goes into it.
That's an amazing story. You're an awesome story. And that's what we do here at the Daily News Network. We tell awesome stories. So if someone sees this and says, I've got an idea, I want to find out more about what they're doing, how do they find you?
You can check us out, 904-242-9000. Give me a call.
Okay.
Or catch us on Instagram, Ashco Centers.
Ashco Centers. And of course, we'll put all of that in the show notes as we send it out.
Thank you.
Tiffany, thanks so much.
It's my pleasure, Brian.
Continued success. And if you know any other great stories, share them with us, because that's what we do here on Raising the Bar. And we're presented every week by the Phoenix Realty Group. We'll see you next time.